Thanks for staying. Let's start with money matters. And more than 290 million cedis has been released to pay suppliers of foodstuffs to the second cycle institutions. According to Chief Executive Officer of the National Food and Buffer Stock Company, Hanan Abdul Wahab, checks have been signed and will be disbursed to suppliers. He says though the funds released do not cover the entire debts to suppliers, it will address the challenges of food shortage in the schools.
Government has taken a very step in addressing this issue, as we owe most of our supply in the last academic year. But the government has made some release last week that has gone through the various paperwork, and we have actually our bankers have confirmed accounts as we speak now this morning of the we owe them in the last academic year, and this is going a long way to speed up the supplies that are ongoing now. But nevertheless, we have been able to do quite well in most of the food items. You know, we have been engaged to supply 18 non-perishable food items, few ones that are very challenging. But now that funds are available now, and we have payment is done, we would see the swift pickup of those supply of those commodities to the schools.
Good to know that money has been made available. To what extent does it help to make food available, or does it help to clear off your debts?
Currently, as we speak now, what government has released now has actually is quite significant. He has been able to pay more than 50% of what we owe suppliers, and I think that is good for us. And we think that once we are able to make payments of the amount of money we receive from government, is going a long way to bring stability into the supply chain.
So you say more than 50% of the money.
Yes.
How much are we talking about here?
Government has released around 290 million, which is quite significant.
Cedis or dollars?
Cedis. Yeah.
So 290 million cedis
has been released, and is going a long way to support the distribution of the food, because like I said, I've signed almost all the checks, and we are going to also issue the checks to the suppliers from tomorrow. I'm sure even from tomorrow when you come here, you will see most of the suppliers here to pick up their checks.
How much do you owe in total?
Currently, as we prior to what government has released, is just a little over 400 million.
Okay.
A little over 400 million, and what government has released, we think is very significant, and we appreciate that support from the Ministry of Finance and the Minister of Finance himself, who has taken it upon himself to make sure that he reduces our burden.
Okay.
And plans are also far advanced in validating the rest of the invoices for payment.
Now, the Attorney General's office says no policeman assaulted Joy News' Lateef Idrisu. This claim comes the same day an attorney representing the Attorney General had told the court the Inspector General of Police had been asked to seek an out-of-court settlement with the journalist. Mr. Idrisu and the Multimedia Group are in court demanding payment of damages for the assault visited on the journalist by policemen. The journalist was in March 2018 beaten up while covering a protest at the police headquarters, and he has since been battling various health complications. Court correspondent Joseph Akakpo has more.
So I feel the pains in my head, because that's where they used the butt of the gun to hit, and my rib, and in my right leg, and my chest.
They hit your chest too?
Yeah, they were hitting me all over, so.
These are the areas you feel pain, but generally, how are you feeling?
My neck as well, yeah, because of the slaps, you know.
What has the doctor been telling you?
He was very worried.
Lateef continues to suffer as a result of the injuries sustained during that brutal assault. The Attorney General's office, however, says no policeman touched him. Mr. Idrisu dismisses the allegations, insisting he was beaten by many policemen.
How many of these police officers?
There were a lot of them. There were lots.
Can you put a number to them?
For those guarded in front of the headquarters, there were more than 20. So he pushed me into them. They didn't know what was going on between the two of us. But I don't know, they all started beating me, slapping me here and there. So I shouted and called him, Joel. Joel, he came and I asked him to start filming. He raised his camera and he started doing something. Some of them also pounced on him and pulled him away. So then they pushed me into the main building. And it got crazy.
The Attorney General's office on Monday told the court it had asked the IGP to pursue settlement talks. Lead counsel for Lateef Idrisu and the multimedia group, Samson Ladi Anyenini, told the court the previous settlement talks mediated by the National Media Commission did not yield much. Lateef then proceeded with his testimony recounting the incident. He's back in the witness box on Tuesday when he'll be cross-examined by the Attorney General's office.
In our next story, a philanthropist has provided a 6-unit classroom block and ancillary facilities for the Lente Wute Community Basic School in the Ketu South municipality of the Volta region. This would augment the infrastructure of the school he established for the community in 2019 to bring education closer to the children in his hometown. There is more in this report.
Children in Lente Wute, a community situated on the Ghana-Togo in the Ketu South municipality, were compelled to travel to neighboring communities to access education. In a bid to end the stress these children go through, a native of the community, Felix Akonta Akakpo, established the Lente Wute Community Basic School in 2019 in this structure belonging to the Pentecost Church. He provided stationery and paid the salaries of the teachers to enable children in his hometown access education without traveling out of the community. 3 years after establishing the school, Mr. Akakpo constructed this 6-unit classroom block with ancillary facilities to accommodate the increasing pupil population.
I'm a proud native of the Lente community who struggled moving for a long distance to school in the 1990s. This singular challenge had a great toll on me and other children at that time. The distance to cover to attend school in other communities created in me a great desire to come back and help the community educate the children. The vision was to provide a community-based, free and compulsory education for all children in the Lente Wute community. Lente Wute Basic School is currently going through the absorption process of the school into Ghana Education Service System. I therefore appeal to Director General of Education, Volta Regional Director of Education, and Ketu South Municipal Director of Education to consider our effort and how far we have come and accept and absorb the Lente Wute Community Basic School into a government system.
The school's headmaster, Robert Blaushi Ajigbi, lauded contributions of the philanthropist and appealed for furniture and other things to enhance teaching and learning.
The world moves speedily to computer age. Toby Chairman, help us plead with our honorable guests for computers for the school. We are pleading for desks for pupils since our numbers are increasing, but we have less desks.
The paramount chief of Aflau, Togbi Amenyafiti V, appreciated efforts of Mr. Akakpo to harness development to his community, but lamented some unfortunate developments in the area.
It's just very unfortunately that the command over here is under Georgia. But your people at the stations here, they always take money from my people. Women bringing their children to attend school. they will take money from them. What a sympathy. They should at least have sympathy on these fair young boys and girls coming to jail to have education.
Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News, Lente, Voute.
The president of the Tabita Pulaku International Ghana, a global organization of the Fulani community, has charged members of the group, particularly the youth, on the need to shun crime as well as work towards promoting peace in their various communities. He made this call during a ceremony held in Techiman to swear in a new set of national executives to steer the affairs of the Fulani community. Anas Abid now reports.
Speaking at a ceremony held in the Techiman municipality to swear in new set of leaders to steer the affairs of the Ghana chapter of Tabita Pulaku International, a global organization of the Fulani community, General Secretary of the group Yakubu Musa Bari admonished Fulanis in Ghana to sensitize its members, particularly the youth, on the need to shun crime as well as promote equality in education.
I promise you all today that I stand firm and ready to continue fighting for our fundamental rights of our people, the Fulanis, and as I have done over the past years. We must be minded also of our actions, especially our youth. We must continue to ensure crime, abating and abetting crime, harboring criminals and fugitives, respecting the rule of laws, and above all, we must promote equality in education, as well as protecting ourselves, families, and properties. We must remain law-abiding and vigilant. We must be each other's keepers.
President of the group Alhaji Amadou Jallo charged the new leaders to execute their mandates with integrity to enable the organization achieve its core mandate of providing support to members of the group.
The newly elected and appointed executive of TPI Ghana are expected to execute their individual and collective assignment with honesty and integrity to achieve the objective of the organization within the 4-year mandate. Under my leadership as TPI Ghana President, I will make sure that all competent individuals and the relevant groups in the Fulani community are recognized and involved in the TPI Ghana affairs.
Hajia Khadija Omar is in charge of Women and Children Affairs. She called on Fulani women to work towards empowering themselves and educating their children to enable them have a brighter future.
It's a very disturbing issue, seeing Fulani children not going to school, taking care of animals at a very tender age. So I always advise the women to try as much as they can to educate their children. They shouldn't rely on the men. They should empower themselves first, because if you have nothing doing, how can you support your child to go to school? So they need to empower themselves. Even if you are in a deep down village, you can have some small ruminants that you can rear and sell and support your children in school.
Chairman of the Elections Committee and National PRO of TPI, Honorable Issa Adams, on his part, emphasized that there is the need for the Fulani community to unite as one people with common destiny and lead in promoting peace in their respective communities.
I humbly appeal to all Fulanis in Ghana to unite as one people with common destiny, to educate their children and give them skills and promote peace within where they live. Continue to do business in towns and cities rather than investing more in the bush. It will get to some time. You will not get land to rear your animals. Those who are interested to rear more should get their own piece of land.
Anas Sabit, Joy News, Techiman.
And on that note, we cap off the news. Up next, the news review. Do stay.